Hello there, everybody. This is the Psychic Spectrum Radio Show. I'm Skip, and I do not have Sha'ron with me today because she's under the weather. So bear with me. I'm doing this alone, and I'm not used to doing it. So if you're with us, we appreciate it. And those of you that are, let us know you're here. Say hi. Tell us where you're at because we'd like to find out where our listeners are in from, and you guys can give us a call. Normally, today we are not going to take calls, but we will take your texts and comments online here. We're going to do this show a little different today because Sharon's not with us. She is under the weather, like I said, and I'll explain a little more as we get into the show. I don't have intro music or anything today, but this is just going to be fun because we have Matt Shea. Matt Shea is our man on the street and our resident expert on haunted places in Washington State. So we're going to have Matt come in a little bit and explain of a couple of places that he's been to that you all go to or have gone to and don't have a clue that they have a haunted history. And Matt's going to expose that. So the next time you go there, or if you want to go again or be for the first time, you can go there and experience it for yourself and try to feel the energies or possibly even see the ghosts and talk to the staff that work there and that kind of thing. So anyhow, I want to say hi to everybody. And as Sharon normally does, she says hello to all of she calls them our peeps, but they're not our peeps. They're just everybody. And we we want you to know that Sharon is online with us from her sick bed. She's listed there as Psychic Spectrum. So she says, thanks, Dorothy, and hello. And so I'm going to say hi. Dorothy's with us. Patty's with us from Bonnie Lake. Dorothy's in Minnesota. And I don't know, you still have snow back there now at this time of year? We're having thunderstorms a little later today. And we're also heavy rains and some winds. So it was a real storm a little bit ago. But anyhow, we're good. We're broadcasting from our home studios in Federal Way, Washington. And Sharon says, yeah, no, it's not cold and rainy in Minnesota. Well, that's good. So now I got to call it Minnesota, don't I? Anyhow, Sharon says hi to everybody. I'm just going to try to remember a few. Like she says, hello to all the people in heaven who earn their wings, like Mary and several other people that we know or who are always part of the psychic spectrum. And again, she's not with us today, but she's with us online and she's watching and commenting as we go. So that's kind of cool. So she can answer some questions or say hi online for me while I'm busy trying to still learn how to push buttons and things like that. Now, I want to let everybody know Sharon works up the affirmation for the day. She works up the stone for the day and her jokes and all that good stuff. We're not going to have them today because that's her side of this department. But um, anyhow, that's just want to let you know. Okay, so let's go back here a little bit. So I'm going to start. And Dorothy said, "Get well, Sharon." Patty said she's from here, from Bonnie Lake. Brenda says prayers for you, Sharon. Um, so Brenda's with us, and Pam in Virginia. Hi, Pam. Long time no talk to. They just had a big thunderstorm too, she says. Jeannie's with us from Gig Harbor, and she says, I'm on. Love you guys. Good. You found us through YouTube. Excellent. And by the way, for most of you to know this, you can do this. You can go to Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter because we broadcast live on all three. And our videos are in the process of getting approved to be posted on the podcast apps that are out there. So we'll get those on as soon as they're available. We're waiting to hear back from them. Um, but you can go to Facebook and YouTube and you can subscribe to our channel. if you're on there, and then you can just get on every single time and you can see all the videos. Also, you can get on live with us. So Sha'ron says, hi everyone, sorry I'm sick. And Kathleen says, hope you're feeling better and blessed, princess of chocolate and sparkles. That's true. That's what she always says, the princess of chocolate, sparkles, and everything, fun and happy. Let's see. Send me some hearts, you guys. Oh, Sha'ron says that. So anyhow, like I said earlier, we have Matt Shea coming on in a few minutes, but I want to tell you guys a couple of things. We do 17 events a month, and all of them are online except one that's talking to the other side that we do live monthly. But everything else is live where we're at in Federal Way in Fife, Washington, but they are also broadcast or simulcast live online. And you can join us at our Psychics Showcase on Wednesday evenings, because we have that set up technology wise where we can broadcast, and you're live, you're on camera in the room, and everybody can see you up on the big screen, and you can see everybody in the room. Plus, you get to hear the topic for the day and the speakers that we have, the different topics. You get to learn about the psychic, metaphysical, paranormal world. Some things you can apply to yourself and have more fun or better yourself in life, make things easier, etc. But I have a rune class coming up, and that rune class is twofold. What it does is it teaches you to read rune cards, number one. But number two, you understand them, you'll know in depth how to read them. And also I teach you how to tap into your psychic ability. Doesn't mean that you have to be a practicing psychic. You just tap into your, basically your intuitive side or your psychic side, whatever you want to call it, and use that in your life. But you can also use that or apply it to reading the cards, the rune cards or the rune stones, whatever you're drawn to. You can take that knowledge and that practice that I teach you, and you can apply it to any other deck of cards, whether it be tarot, angel cards, um, you name it. Okay, you can use the same practices and learn how to read those too. But that is coming up near just past the mid May mark. I think it's going to be May 21st, 22nd, but don't quote me on that because my memory is not that great. But go to the website at psychicspectrum.com, and you can find out and read more about it there. And if you're interested, you can even register for it. If money or the cost of the class is a problem, let us know. We can work that out with you too. So don't think that you're precluded from it just because of the finance part of it. But I want to say it's a 2-day class. It's a Saturday and a Sunday. It's very intensive. You spend from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. each day, and you learn all these things. And one of them that you're going to learn is, like I said, tap into your psychic ability, read the cards. You're also going to find out about the runic astrology. In other words, how to do astrology with the runes. It's really simple, but it's something that people think that, oh, I'd never become an astrologer. You don't have to be an astrologer. You can just use that part of it. So anyhow, go to psychicspectrum.com, click on the rune class. You'll find out more information there. Also, I talked about the psychic showcase on Wednesdays. Go there and sign up, register, I guess you might say, for the psychic showcase, no matter where you are in the world, no matter what time it is where you are. It might be late where you are, but it might not. Anyhow, it costs $5. It's the same as whether in person or online. It's $5, and you register each week and get the link emailed to you. You click on it at the appropriate time, and you're in live with us. So anyhow, that's on there. It's the psychic showcase on psychicspectrum.com. And let's see what else. Oh, we've got the Talking to the Other Side that I mentioned that we do on the first Saturday of every month. And I'm pretty sure, but let me double check here. The web, yeah, it's going to be on the Talking to the Other Side is going to be on May 7th. And that starts at 6 p.m. It's a local show only, and we spend 3 full hours talking to people who've passed over for you, passing messages back and forth. Plus, we offer our psychic hits that we get on you and that kind of thing. So it's fun, and you can do that, but that has to be live. So sorry. Plus, Sha'ron and I also do private appointments for psychic readings. And those you can go to psychicspectrum.com and schedule your reading and find out more information about it. Our readings, we read together, the two of us, at the same time, and our readings are recorded and then sent to you, because you will not remember what two people say for an hour. And yes, that's an hour, because that's pretty much where our readings last that long. Plus, it's it sometimes can go into an hour and a half. So anyhow, I think it's great that we do these kind of things, because it wakes people up. It gives you information that you can apply to yourself, and everything we do is geared around teaching the metaphysical and the paranormal. And we do have ghost hunts that we do, group ghost hunts. Those are live only, but we do those when weather permitting, or when the weather is, I guess, for lack of a better word, when it is uh, conducive to the ghost hunt. Okay, and it's a group ghost hunt. We do UFO watching, Sasquatch watching. That's a mouthful. Sasquatch watching. But anyhow, we have a lot of fun, and we've done these things for years, and we just want people to experience these things, because the metaphysical, or the psychic, or the paranormal, whatever you want to call it, is all a normal part of life. And I want to say this is going to sound a little crude, but dead people are all around us. And we just have to learn how to tune into them. Or if you're not of that frame of mind, that's where Sha'ron and I come into, and we do those kind of things for you. So RJ says hello, and RJ is in England, I think. Pretty sure it's the UK. And Kathleen says that she was in the Poodle Dog for the first time on Saturday. What a great place, staff, and the food. It's actually really good. And did you know, Kathleen? I know you may not, but all of their pastries, the rolls, the pastries they make, and all these things, they're all handmade, fresh on site. So anyhow, it's not something that you get out of a can or that kind of thing. The food is really good there. It's been around, I think, since like 1930s. Um, Anyhow, it's very old. I used to go there on Saturday mornings when my dad would take me fishing. We'd stop when I was a little kid. We'd have breakfast, then we'd go fishing. So anyhow, go check out the Poodle Dog if you're there, but check out the Poodle Dog when we are there, whether it's online or in person, and you can join in. So, like I said earlier, um, we tested our new equipment for our podcast here on this weekend, and we went to Ocean Shores, and we spent 2 days there. That's where Sha'ron caught her cold and got sick. And I actually think she has a sinus infection or a respiratory something going on, but she's trying to get well so she can be with us tomorrow night at the Psychic Showcase. Um, Anyhow, we had a good time, and I know that the place we stayed at is haunted, and I'm going to have Matt explain that to you in a few minutes. Again, Matt Shea is going to be our guest today. So it's going to be in a few minutes. I'm going to take some question here that I got from RJ. RJ says, can I ask a question about vertigo? I'm having terrible vertigo every day. It's like I'm drunk, but obviously I'm not drinking. I wonder if it's part of my anxiety disorder. RJ, I don't think it is part of your anxiety disorder. I think you need to see a chiropractor. And again, I know you are in the UK, but I don't know what you call a chiropractor over there, but it could be a chiropractor, because every country usually has their own names for things. But you have, what I'm seeing is things out of alignment several places in your spine. But I want to say this first of all. I have to declare this, because my wife would kick me in the butt if I didn't. We are not doctors. We can't diagnose. We can't prescribe. But you have things out of adjustment in your spine, and you need to pay attention to it, getting adjustment done strictly on your from your upper spine, the neck area, to where it hits the top of the shoulders, and from there up to the top of the spine. If you did that, you would find it's probably going to take about 5 or 6, 7 treatments if you get a good chiropractor who knows what they're doing, and they would adjust that and help immensely. Okay, so short of a ear infection, which I don't think you have, I don't see that, but anyhow, I would consider seeing a chiropractor. Okay. um oh, Elaine says hi from Auburn. Hi, Elaine, how are you? um Sending healing love to Sharon. Sha'ron, let's see, I'm just reading here. Let me go back up here because RJ had a question again, and what did I do with that? There it is. Okay, there, we take it off the screen. So anyhow, today again we have Matt Shea with us because it's his time, and we shorted him on time because we got really into the last place that he talked about. It was a place in Gig Harbor. It's called Baby Doll Road. It's a 1 mile stretch of road that is very haunted, known haunted, I guess I should say. And there was some murders and disappearances there. But today, Matt is going to talk about another place in Washington, and it's a place you can easily get to. So what I'm going to do is I am going to unmute Matt. Let me see if I can bring him in. There he is. All right, there is Matt Shea. Matt is an author. He's got a Psychic Spectrum mug, and I'm not. I don't. You can get those on our website, by the way, if you guys want one. I don't have mine today because ours are in the dishwasher, and so I have my regular coffee mug. But Sha'ron says hi, Matt. Oh, Nicole's on us with us. Hi. Um, Nicole, she says hi, guys. But anyhow, Matt is with us, and Matt is an author. I want to say this first because I really like the books that he writes, the style he writes. His newest book is out. And Matt, first of all, I want to say welcome to the show, and tell everybody how you are and where you are located at.
Well, first of all, I want to say hello to both you and Sha'ron. She's here with us on the airwaves. She's always with us in spirit. And now we could make fun of her a little more without her being able to interrupt.
Yep, that's
I
true.
wouldn't do that to her. Look at this. These are becoming more and more popular.
Yeah.
I took a recent poll, and they found out the elected officials on Capitol Hill, the ones who've yet to get their own,
Ah,
they're becoming more and more less desirable as politicians.
yeah, that's true. That is true.
In fact, some will need two of them.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm alive and well in Marysville. And in regards to our today's presentation, years ago when I was very young and I started to get interested in the concept of places being haunted, it reached a new level when I started to meet people from out of state and truck drivers who would tell me about haunted roads. And
Uh-huh.
so I did my research, and my gosh, it seems that every community, every county has their share of them. On our last show, we covered Baby Doll Road. We are now at Holland Road, and Holland Road is 1 hour and 5 minutes away. It is 52.7 miles away from Baby Doll.
Oh.
I've visited each of them multiple times. Many times I went back and forth the same day comparing the two because they have an awful lot in common.
Oh, now
We
hold
will,
on a second, Matt. Let me interrupt you. I got a place on here. Let me interrupt you. Okay. B- Um, Holland Road. Where is it exactly? Is it located?
Holland Road is in Bremerton. And how
Oh.
we get there is much like with Baby Doll Road, we go to I-5 and take the Washington 16 exit west, which is
Mm-hmm.
what we know as the Tacoma Narrows Bridge. And then you continue following that until you get onto Washington 3 North.
Mm-hmm.
And you take exit 45B to merge onto Washington 303 South Northeast Wega Way. take the Century Valley Road exit, turn left onto Century Valley Road Northeast, turn right onto Holland Road. But
Okay.
basically, to get the GPS out for Holland Road, put yourself at Tacoma's Narrows Bridge, and it'll just lead you right there to it.
There we go.
Now, a similarity that this has with Baby Doll, they both measure exactly 1 mile.
Oh, wow.
I have covered each of them, setting my odometer at 0, and each one was precisely that. And they both have that eerie wind to it. Holland has a little bit more of a wind, a little bit more curvy, but it's basically a straight road, so to say,
Uh-huh.
as is Baby Doll. But Holland Road is known as the Ghost Road. It is the more famous of the two hauntings. And
Oh,
Holland Road has its share of what I would call violent skid marks.
no kidding.
Because your little dips in the road, slight turns, and sometimes a person is driving impaired. They have two hauntings that road is known for, both on drivers who were impaired. Like Baby Doll, the Postal Service delivers the mailbox from the driver's seat. So they drive right up to that mailbox.
Okay.
Unfortunately, years back, an older man was getting his mail and a car came fast, hitting him. To this day, they see his apparition by the mailbox, the front yard, that side of the street,
Uh-huh.
staying close to home. They will see what appears to be energy light sources, and they affiliate it with the tragedy they had there. But there is a second one that is more notable. A young girl with long dark hair was riding a horse, and a man who was impaired hit her and the horse. And I believe the horse lived through it. Unfortunately, it took the little girl's life.
Oh, that's sad.
What happened from this point forward is quite a mystery. The detectives concluded that he got his buddies together and they buried her body in some unknown place.
Trying to hide the evidence.
And when they pieced it together, he kept denying it. And somehow he mysteriously died 3 weeks later.
Oh, wow.
The parents died within 3 years, unfortunately, and an elder woman had purchased the house to live there. And she said all the time she would see an energy source enter the living room. She would see it outside on the front lawn. She would see it on the street. Other times, it was definitely clear to be the ghost of a little girl with long, dark hair. And then, including the old lady who lived there, it was a common report, especially when it was sort of foggy out, to see a little girl with long, dark hair riding a horse in that general area.
Wow.
There are many, many reports of the girl on that horse and the man by his mailbox. Again, it is called the Ghost Road, and it's exactly like Baby Doll in reference to an eerie, windy road with the trees, the skid marks,
Yeah.
and the tragedy attached.
Wow.
And when I was young, it was one thing when I would hear people talk about haunted houses.
Mm-hmm.
The grown-ups who traveled the country, who were from different parts, they would talk about haunted roads that they lived by. And then when I was a Teamster, I dealt with over 2,000 trucks a month. And many of those guys would talk about haunted roads, but they didn't know that when I was young, I met people from that town that told me the exact same story. And then I would look it up later and it would be there in print. It's around us. We have
Yeah.
many, many. This town I live in, we have quite a few haunted roads.
Wow. Wow. That's amazing. Now I got to ask, were you able to talk with anybody who lives on the road or frequents the road?
No, not there. On Baby Doll, I did. I got to talk to quite a few.
Mm-hmm.
But here, I was on my own. and traveled it several times, and the earmarks are there. It is so eerie, and there is something about the trees, there's pulsation to it. It was a little scary. That and Baby Doll are comparable. They're basically the same animal, I would say.
I'll be darned. Wow, sounds interesting. Now, a while back, you talked to us online here on our show about a haunted place in Bellingham. Am I correct? It was Bellingham?
Yes, there is, and I want to give you an update on that. Our friend Richard, who's on the panel with the Psychic Spectrum,
Uh-huh.
he and I had breakfast the other day. We agreed that we're going to be men.
Yeah.
We're going to the Leo Hotel, and we're going to book one of their haunted rooms for the night, and we're going to dine at their haunted bar downstairs, and we're just going to comb the place. And then a friend of mine, Pete, up north, he worked at the Swinomish Casino. He stayed there before with his buddies, and he kept using the word eerie. It's an eerie place. We might get Pete to join us because he's been around there.
Yeah, that
But
might
it's
be fun.
coming up, and we're gonna. Hey, the door's open for you and Sha'ron.
Well, we were before this weekend, before she got sick, we were talking about we got to pick a date, get up there. We actually had a couple of dates in mind, but we never got to it because of the trip, and then she got sick, and so now it's put off for a little while. But we are definitely going to go there, and we are planning on doing an overnight there ourselves. So because I don't want to drive back late at night from Bellingham, so back down to Federal Way. So we're going to go up there and check it out, and hopefully you'll be there with us at least for a while, whether you stay overnight or not.
Well, my game plan is to hit the Hotel Leo up in Bellingham,
Mm-hmm.
and then if I could pull it off, to hit the Stanwood coming back home, coming or going. It'll be back to back famous haunted places that I believe were built in the 1800s originally.
Oh, that's cool. You've taken us on the show. We've talked personally when we get together, but you've taken us to, my God, pretty much a wide array of Western Washington's haunted places, from down by Aberdeen all the way Ocean Shores, Westport area, all the way to Bellingham, to the peninsula area, and even local. Now we have recordings from some of those places that are called EVPs, or stands for electronic voice phenomena. And someday we're going to play those again soon on the air for people, because it's, first of all, it's kind of nice to be able to hear a ghost talking to us. But what happens is, when we go on ghost hunts, sometimes we as psychics and mediums hear them, but we don't hear them often, and so we turn on tape recorders. The tape recorders gather the voices. We go back and listen to them after the ghost hunt when we're back in the office, and I have some software that I can enhance them, bring the voices out so you can hear them. But often, and what happens is that the ghosts will interact with us, and like we'll be sitting there talking about the place we're at, how it looks old, or whether it's a cemetery or whatever, or a building. But um, they will interact with what we're saying, the things that we're talking about. Like one of them that strikes in mind, I said, we asked for one of the ghosts to touch us and let someone here know that you're there, touch someone. And we got on the recorder, we got, oh, we're past that. And so, and it got pretty violent that night for me. This is an overnight ghost hunt that we did. It got pretty violent that night for me, and very physical. And I won't say violent, but physical for other people that stayed there with us. So the stories are pretty good, and we may end up doing some shows on that kind of thing. Quick question. Actually, I want to talk about your, I told everybody you're an author. I want to talk about your books real quick. Okay. And I put on today on the screen, I put mattsheabooks.net. That's his website. That's Matt's website. You can go there and you can look at all the books Matt's written. He has a free audio book there, and you have other books that come in audio too, correct?
Yes, I think I have 5 or 6 audio. And our good friend Doug Johnston, when
Mm-hmm.
the latest publication came out, he met me for breakfast and he staked a claim. He's going to do the audio for the new one.
That's
Doug has
cool.
done one for me already, and he is sensation. He's
Yep.
Hollywood.
Yeah,
That's
he
what
has a
Doug is.
good voice for that. Now, you're less speaking of your latest book. It's called what?
It is called The Cabin in the Woods and Other Short Stories, and it consists of 4 short stories.
Okay. And people can find it at mattshaybooks.net, but they can also find it on Amazon.
Yes, and then it'll have my 9 paperbacks as a whole, and I believe 13 Kindle. And we do have a free audiobook and free stories. And I always write people back. Every night I get a few who write, and I get back with them. Sometimes it goes a step further. I meet them at a coffee shop, I sign a book, and then I give them another one.
Oh, that's cool. Wow, that's great. Well, we have a book coming. I know that you told us that, and it's going to be an autographed book. We have your other books here, and they're a great read. I guess just got to say, we like the style that you write in because you write as if we're, and this is on your website, but it's like we are talking with Andy Griffith. We're having a conversation. It's down to earth. It's kind of home style, and it's very, very easily read, but it's also a good read for people. And your books don't deal with the paranormal so much, do they?
It has a little bit of a hint to it at times. It's
Mhm.
more towards a hallmark concept in that. But then the paranormal, I have that as well. At present, I am submitting a story. I'm not quite done with it for a horror book, but it is a horror book full of suspense,
Mhm.
nothing gruesome, nothing barbaric, just suspense and that type of thing. So it's like a stand up comic who does well, but he's not doing profanity. He is not crossing a line he shouldn't.
All
And
right.
so it's a clean approach for suspense with a lesson involved.
Okay. So I want to recap again for our listeners. Today we talked about Holland Road, and it's in Bremerton, Washington. We also recapped a little about Baby Doll Road, which is in Gig Harbor. Am I correct? Be a little north of Gig
Baby
Harbor.
Doll Road, I think, my gosh, these towns are right next to each other.
Yeah,
I think it's Paulsbo, but you have a
Paulsville.
small cluster there, and to Google it, and you're off of 16, it's right
Hmm.
there. You can't, you'll be guided to it easily.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Well, that's good. I thank you for the information. And you know, I got to say to our listeners that check out mattshaybooks.net and you'll find that there's something there that you can get free audiobooks, but you can also get a whole lot of other written or printed, I should say, or audiobooks too. So, and then go on Amazon and find Matt Shea books, and you will be mildly surprised by them. So, Matt, thank you. I'm gonna put you in the background and mute your microphone. I'm gonna do a couple other things, and then I'll be back with you. Okay.
Thank you, Skip and Sha'ron and Psychic Spectrum Radio Show.
All right. Thanks, and I'll be back with you shortly. So hang in there. Um, okay. Let's go back. JM joined us, and over there from Yakima, JM. She's I'm late, but I'm here now. Sharon, get better quick. She will. She will. She gets. She has allergies and asthma, and things get to her from time to time, but she's doing well. She's doing better. She always gets over it. I answered a question earlier for RJ over there in the UK, and he says, "Thanks so much. How does spine problems cause vertigo problems?" Sorry, I don't know a lot about it. The only thing I can tell you, because I'm not a doctor, we can't diagnose, can't prescribe, but I can tell you this: vertigo is sometimes caused, or the symptoms that feel like vertigo are caused by your spine being out of adjustment, twisted, pinched nerves. What do you call it? Not nerves. Muscles can also go on to nerves. Anyhow, it's a nerve. We've had several people who have said what you asked originally about being dizzy and vertigo, and they found out that when they went and had their spine adjusted, it relieved the pressure on those things, and they actually cleared up. And some once in a while they come back because their spine gets out of adjustment again. So All that means is that you need to see the chiropractor again. Like I say, a few sessions, and usually it's cleared up. So that's about the best I can do that explanation for you. So I hope that helps, RJ. And thanks for checking in with us all the way from over there in the UK. Dorothy says, "Love me some dead people." It's fun. We have a good time going on um, ghost hunts and that kind of thing, and just I don't know how to say. I guess just uh, having a good time with things. Um, Let's see. So we're being hacked again by some bozos on Facebook. So some beautiful energy in the air, so much I couldn't help but share. May your day be filled with joy in your heart, present moment. I guess that's not hacked. Oh, yeah, it is. I would love to offer you a reading. Okay. Well, guess what? You are going to be blocked and deleted. So, anyhow, wherever we get these people from time to time, they get a free ride on our podcasts here. And by the way, all of our podcasts are available online with any podcast app that you use. Just go to your podcast app, type in Psychic Spectrum Radio, and we will come up, and it'll help you find us. You can listen to all of our podcasts. Like I say, no matter what podcast app you use. So anyhow, I think unless there's no more questions that are going to be typed in, we're not taking calls today because Sharon's not with us. Um, but there, I put that up, and that'll help you guys find our website at psychicspectrum.com. I am going to make this a short broadcast today because Sharon is not with us and I have a hard time filling airtime by myself. So that's why we like to do these things together. So, anyhow, I'm going to bring Matt back in with us, and let's see if I can push the right buttons. And hey, look at that. I did it. Um, I'm still new to this whole thing of doing the podcast controls and everything myself, plus the little radio show we do. But Matt, I want to thank you again for being with us today. And again, people, go to mattshaybooks.net. Matt's books, let me turn this off. Matt's books, it's listed there, mattshaybooks.net. Find him on Amazon also. And read his books, check him out, and buy a few of them so he can buy me lunch next time we go on a ghost hunt. So, anyhow, Matt, thanks again. Okay.
Thank you.
All right, you have a good weekend coming up, a weekend, and we will get with you soon. We'll talk about some stuff, and I got some more comments here. Hold on. Kathleen, Matt, you're on the stay on there with me because you might have some comments on this. I totally believe in the chiropractic work. Mine has helped with many ailments over the years, mostly job or injury related. A good doctor should explain your question, RJ. But like Skip said about the nerves, all our nerves are housed in our spine. You have a subluxation. That's what chiropractors call it when we say that your spine's out of whack. Um, s- uh, but anyhow, and it's connected to the one that's making you dizzy. I've had it too. Good. Thank you for that, Kathleen. That helps explain it. Pam says she enjoyed the topic. So there you go, Matt. You got a kudos there. And Sharon says, thanks, Pam. And again, she'll be with me next Saturday when we're here at noon. But we're here every Tuesday, I should say, at 1 and Saturday at noon. Go to our website, check out our events where you can join us live online, no matter where you are in the world, except all but one. And go to mattshaybooks.net or find him on Amazon because he's got a great talent there for writing. Okay. So, Matt, again, I'm going to sign off here. We're going to end this podcast for today, but we appreciate your help. You've been wonderful guest, and you even got a kudo from Pam there, all the way back in Virginia. All
Can't
right.
do any better than Pam.
Yeah. Yeah. That's right. Thanks, Pam. Anyhow, Matt, thank you for joining us. I am going to mute you again and move you off the screen for myself. Oh, Matt, what was the street? What street is that always in your background? Oh, here, let me bring Matt back in. Matt, Kathleen says, what street is that in the background that you're using, Seattle or Marysville?
I'm trying to figure that out.
Oh,
and I bought this at a store and had them enlarge it. And then I look at the license plates and the streets in Google, and I'm trying to pinpoint that myself. Maybe I'm related to somebody who's on the sidewalk and I haven't clicked yet.
yeah, yeah. Well, Kathleen, you're psychic too. So everybody has this. So you tell us where it's at. But I'm joking. Anyhow, okay, I'm going to sign you out of here, Matt. You hang in there. I'll be back with you in a minute. And ladies and gentlemen out there listening and joining us today, thank you for the help with things, being with us, just commenting, typing in your questions. This is the Psychic Spectrum Radio Show, and as our theme song says, which I will have back online on Saturday, what a wonderful world. So take care, and we will join you in the next one on Saturday.